It's 3-round mock draft time, the NFC East edition. It's all brought to you by our friends over at LegendaryGM.com. All right, Mike, here's what we did, in case you didn't know. We went back, we did our own little 3-round mock drafts, tried to keep them somewhat realistic, and we're just giving fans, different scenarios that their team could come up with on draft night. Let's start with the New York Giants in the NFC East. In my mock draft, I went with Dwayne Haskins and Jonah Williams in the first round. You go with Jawan Taylor and Greedy Williams. What went into your reasoning? Then I'll give you mine.
Well, I've not been so shy about saying I don't think quarterback is going to be the value play for the Giants at 6. I don't believe in any of these guys making them your guy. If you draft them top 10, they're your quarterback of the future. I don't think that's the case, and I like the talent in this top 10 in terms of you can grab a surefire quality starter at a valuable position. To me, that's Jawan Taylor.
So you're going Jawan Taylor, but I'm going to go Haskins because I just think they have to take their shots at quarterback starting right now. And then in this particular scenario, if Jonah Williams is available, these are two slam dunk picks in my mind for the Giants. Let's get to the second round because then you decided to go offensive tackle again, which could become a guard with Dalton Risner, and I'm going Marquise Brown. I've just added a weapon for Dwayne Haskins down the field with his speed.
Yeah, completely solidified that offensive line. You go guard, left tackle, center, right tackle. All of them look solid.
Is Risner moving to center?
Risner moving to center.
There you go.
Played center his freshman year at Kansas State, so I think I've solidified that offensive line. Whoever does become the quarterback of the future is going to thank me for this draft.
I don't mind your strategy. You're starting to build the rest of the pieces around their future quarterback. And then in the third round, I go Juan Thornhill at safety. They just need any sort of talent on the defensive side of the ball. You agree you're going Max Crosby, one of our sleeper edge defenders.
Yeah, keep going value position. They went, edge in the third round, I believe, last year, and Lorenzo Carter. This time, Max Crosby, another fantastic athlete. Crosby a little more productive in college. I think he's one of our sleepers in this draft.
All right, let's go to the Washington Redskins with the 15th overall pick. I do think quarterback could potentially be in play, but neither one of us took a QB. I'm going Greedy Williams, the cornerback out of LSU. Love him as a press man corner. I think he'd be good value at 15, and you're going DK Metcalf, filling a huge need at wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely. The Josh Doxson pick has not worked out to date. Metcalf, bigger, stronger, faster than Doxson, better downfield threat at this point. You need that for whoever is under center.
In the second round, I went quarterback Daniel Jones, who I just wrote an article saying he's a third-round prospect. But I think with the quarterback bump, at this point, at 46 overall, I'm willing to take Daniel Jones. He's not going to be my franchise quarterback necessarily, but you take shots at the quarterback position. Jones is worth a shot there at 46.
Yeah, I agree that Jones, that's where I'd start getting willing to take him, especially if you're a team like the Redskins where you're building 4 down the line. I went with Noah Fant. I think his athleticism has something there at the tight end position. If you can teach him the finer points of the tight end, I think you could have something.
So I kind of like the way your draft is shaping up when it comes to Metcalf and Fant, adding a ton of speed on that side of the ball. And then I went offense with my 2 third-round picks, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Titus Howard. We have the best contested catch receiver in the entire draft. And J.J., Titus Howard, developmental offensive tackle. I think they both fit for Washington, but you're going defense with your 2 third-rounders.
Yeah, more speed. Speed-themed draft here. Blake Cashman, 4.5 speed at the linebacker position. Add some now that you have Zach Brown gone. Jamil Dean, cornerback, fastest 40 of any corner, 4.31. Big press man corner across from Josh Norman. I think it'd be a good combo.
Quick break to tell you about our friends over at Legendary GM. The Pro Football Draft is coming up on April 25th, a special time for fans and a frustrating time for many hardcore fans who know the draft could have gone better for their team. Did you ever question your general manager's draft selections? Have you ever said, I could have drafted better than this? Introducing Legendary GM, the first ever platform that allows you to draft for any pro football team. Draft against your GM and draft against your friends to see who knows best. Legendary GM is simple, fun, and will give you bragging rights for years to come. Unlike traditional fantasy football, Legendary GM is easy to set up and manage. Draft players your team really needs and get rewarded when your players perform during the season. Finally, there's an alternative to traditional fantasy football. So what are you waiting for? Prove you know better than the pros, the experts, and your friends. Go to LegendaryGM.com now to sign up, and if you use the promo code PFF, you can invite up to 9 additional friends to play for free until the start of the regular season of the NFL. That's LegendaryGM.com. All right, moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the tougher teams to draft for if you're trying to fill some holes on the roster. I'm going with edge defender Cleveland Ferrell. I think he just fits with what they like to do, adding more pass rushers up front where you're going safety, Nasir Adderley, I do love that fit as well.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles are going to complain about adding more pass rushers. They haven't to this date. But yeah, Nasir Adderley, I went safety, get a playmaker there opposite Malcolm Jenkins. McLeod, just the injury concerns going forward, you need someone else there on the back end.
And then in the second round, I think this also fits with what the Eagles have shown that they'll do in the past. They grabbed Sidney Jones a couple years ago, a first-round caliber player who was injured. They could do the same with Jeffrey Simmons, add even more to that defensive line with the 53rd overall pick, where you go Elgin Jenkins.
Yeah, I think center of the future with Jason Kelce getting up there in years. He's hinted at retirement of late. So just addition to that offensive line, because like the way you went on the defensive line, you can't keep your strengths. You can't let them sort of erode over the years.
And with my third Eagles pick, I'm going Chuma Edoga, offensive tackle from USC. We've seen him in a bunch of these 3-round mocks because he's a good fit as a developmental offensive tackle. They still have to find that next Jason Peters, and Chuma could be that guy.
I'm going Sean Bunting here. I think this is where I went cornerback. And again, I'm not sure you have to address it in the first round, but I don't think I feel comfortable going in with just Sidney Jones, Rasul Douglas, Jalen Mills as your opposite guy with Ronald Darby and his injury concerns. Just another name there just to add some talent to that group to maybe possibly rise to the top of it, because there's just too many question marks.
They're certainly not set at cornerback. I'm just adding all sorts of pass rushers there, though, in Philadelphia. Let's move on to the Dallas Cowboys. They do not have a first-round pick, but I gave them one of my favorite players in the entire draft in round 2. One of the best fits, I think, in the draft. Darnell Savage, just a freak athletically, so much range that he can add to the back end. And you went safety as well with a similar type of player in Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, I couldn't grab Savage there, but Thornhill, explosive testing numbers, very similar to Byron Murphy, actually, coming out at the combine, a freak athlete, so I think he could add that to their back end. Range is the buzzword here. We're both trying to attack.
Well, since they don't have that first-round pick, they're getting range from safety and then more wide receiver talent. It feels like that will be a smart way to go for Dallas. I'm going Riley Ridley. You're going J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Two different style receivers, but still important pieces to add opposite Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either. Riley Ridley, very NFL ready in terms of his route running prowess, could step in day one and be a nice compliment. Arcega-Whiteside, I think red zone threat, just anything more to help Dak out in that area would be a big success for them, especially in the third round if you can grab him.
So there you have it. It's our NFC East head-to-head 3-round mock, all brought to you by Legendary GM.